objective is win a ball game, and we won a ball game today. It wasn't exactly maybe the way we envisioned. I think the thing that we stressed this entire week was about the ability to play clean, and I don't know that that's what we really did. I think that there were some anxieties and some things. I think we played fast, we played aggressive, which I think it cost us a little bit defensively. I think early on, we didn't tackle very well. But the greatest thing about it is you got to be able to handle adversity. And I learned some things about our guys because at halftime it's 14 to 10, and we get momentum right back there in the end of the first half, and then we kind of give it back to them by not playing as aggressive as we need to play defensively, and give up a field goal right there. But they came in at half. They didn't bat an eye. That they you could see it in their faces that they didn't love exactly where they were, but. The idea was, hey, how do we handle some adversity? How do we bring ourselves out the second half and make sure that we don't let those things affect us from the first half, make the adjustments, and get back to being who we need to be? And they asked me afterwards, is this, what were your expectations? And sometimes I think maybe I have delusional expectations, but that's what's going to continue to drive us and motivate us. And we know there's a lot of ways that we're going to get better, and we need to get better. On both sides of the ball, all three phases of the game, and but that's the beauty of it. That afterwards, those guys are excited, they're grateful for the opportunity, and I could see in their eyes they're hungry to find ways to continue to get better and make sure this journey is going to grow.
Microphones on each side, Jeff here.
Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Braylon Allen in the offseason, understandably so. But what did you see from Ches today, who's been banged up the last 2 years, hasn't been able to finish it off the way you like?
The great thing about you'd say it's a 1-2 punch. I think it's a 1-1 punch. They're really good friends. They do things together, and sometimes you would think in an offense that might not be the same as it has been, that it would be unique to say, how can you have two really, really talented backs and they be able to share the load? And I think you saw it today. I saw it today. I didn't just see the energy that Ches brought on his big long run. I saw the energy that Braylon had for Ches after he had the long run. And then I saw the energy and the excitement that Ches had for Braylon when he had his drives and kind of, got some things rolling and really kind of changed the tempo of the game. And to me, that means a lot to the locker room because, there's all kinds of human elements that are throughout the entire locker room, especially when game time hits, whether guys got the ball enough or made enough tackles or missed enough tackles, and but they're a great example of what momentum and energy can do and what healthy competition looks like.
Jesse?
To follow up on that, do you think the way your team ran the ball today said something about the kind of identity it can have offensively, particularly for fans who may have been wondering what does this look like with the running game and everything?
I do. I mean, I if there's anything that I knew going into game one, I knew that we could run the football. I knew that, that could be a spark and an energy for us. And I'm not saying that because of Braylon and Ches, because those are the two guys I think it's hardest to see in fall camp because you don't go live and you don't let them break tackles. But because of the combination of those two guys and the guys up front. And, and so, whether we wanted to do some other things and have a great balance, we also can ID where our strengths are and where the energy and momentum can be created. Because every week there's going to be different ways to create energy and momentum. This week I think it was with Ches and Braylon and their ability to pound the football and create some energy and some big plays in that way. And I think the rest of the group fed off of it. Now, not just the offense, I mean the defense as well.
Right, over there.
Monday you said that at your previous stops, maybe you didn't take time to take it all in on your first game. Did you give yourself a chance to take it all in today?
I took a couple of deep breaths there at the end of the third quarter as we got rolling in the fourth, but that would probably have been the only time. I just, but it was awesome. It was. I recognize that, to play in front of that crowd. And to be honest with you, it's hard to hear. It really is. And you're supposed to be at home, and there's times when you'll be able to hear and make some things when your offense is out there, and it's difficult. So I did. I recognized it. Didn't spend a whole lot of time just because of the sheer fact that things didn't go exactly maybe as you planned. But then again, I don't know if I've had too many games that have gone exactly as I planned.
Sure.
obviously just one game, and that quarterback at times got the ball out of his hands pretty quickly. But do you want to see a little bit more from your guys up front, maybe making him a little more uncomfortable in the future? I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I thought they did a really good job. Give them credit. They when they held the ball with some max protection stuff, and when they got rid of the ball, they were getting rid of the ball. And being a former D lineman, there's nothing more frustrating than the guy catches and delivers the ball, and you don't even have a chance to get close. Or if you do, make a move and you do happen to get free and you get there and the ball is completely gone, and nowadays you can't even touch the guy. So it is frustrating up front, and that's kind of the thing that I had for those guys up front at halftime. Don't get frustrated. At some point in time, if they're going to take their shots, they're going to have to, buy a little bit of time, and then your opportunity is going to be there. But that's, give them credit. I thought that was a really good plan on their part.
Cole?
How would you assess how Tanner played today? Had a couple interceptions and a couple of big plays as well. How would you kind of just overall?
I think that we got to go back and watch. I think he had command. I think he had control. There was never a sense of urgency that he felt like he had to have. I didn't really see the first pick. I couldn't see it. We got to get maybe. I don't know if they want to replay the bad plays on the board, but the other one was I got to give them credit. It was a really good play on their part, obviously. But those are things we got to do better. I mean, that's the talk. That's the ability to play clean, and there's a balance between being really aggressive, which I think he was. The throws down the field, maybe there weren't as many, but I think if he probably had a lot of poise in not throwing some of those ones when they were bailing out of there. So I would say from afar, no, we don't like the 2 interceptions, but I do believe that he threw the things when he was supposed to throw them. And he didn't really kind of force some balls into places where he shouldn't have.
Lance, in back.
Luke, can you describe Shimray's will to get in the end zone on that touchdown and how big that touchdown was at the time?
It's huge. I mean, the first half in particular, just we moved the ball, then we stall a little bit, and we're trying to figure out all of who we are and how we do things, and we knew that, but you're finding to get the ball in some guys' hands and give them a chance to make some plays. And finally we got the ball into Chim's hand with a little bit of space, because there's times when those guys get the ball and there is no space, and they got to fall forward and get us 4 yards and 3 or 4 or 5 yards when we can. But when we can get those guys in space, we got to be able to make some plays. And I'll get on Will Pauling for having an opportunity maybe that he didn't make the play in space, but we'll tell him to check out the old man Chim and how he does it when he gets himself into space.
Cole?
Luke, I know it happened late in the game, but Jordan Turner's targeting penalty, did you agree with the call, or how did you assess?
Are you trying to get me in trouble, huh? I'll just be honest. I'll say this every time. I said this 2 years ago when a kid got kicked out of the game when we were playing Indiana. I do not believe we should throw kids out of games. I mean, if it's a blatant, complete shot where we have to make a point, then obviously we got to be able to do things. But this is not the right thing to do. I mean, the NFL, we can't fine them, but we've got to have some other ways. It's just they're not blatant. They're kind of bang things. And we got to do a better job at coaching and teaching, and we will. So we've got some other adversity we got to overcome. But it's a part of the game that we got the rules we got. That doesn't mean I have to like them, but we'll look at it in a way that we got to get better and make sure that we make an emphasis to our players about what that shoulder-led tackling is supposed to look like.
Rohan, over here.
Luke, in the second quarter, on that 4th and 3, it seemed like there was some hesitation before choosing to punt in opposing territory. What kind of led to that decision, and was there any hesitation there?
I don't remember which one it was. By nature, we're going to be aggressive, but there's a feel for a game, in the situations that we had. I think that I don't remember that one. I can't recall exactly what the time on it. I know this, that I'm not sure we would have kicked a field goal every time when we did, but I thought it was an opportunity for us to get our field goal kicker out there on the field and get him into some rhythm too, because we know that we're going to need him as well. That might be an area where I will look back and say that if we're going to be an aggressive team, if we're going to take our shots at things, those are the areas where when it's 4th and 3 inside that 25-yard line, we're going to have to be aggressive. I just felt like at that time it was the right thing to do to give Vakos a chance to kick.
Coach,
Does it feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders? You're talking about September 2nd for a long time, since you've been hired. Is it good to finally have it over and to have it with a win?
Yes. There's mixed emotions right now, but as I walked in here, my wife probably tried to remind me to enjoy what you do and winning. And I say that to the guys, but then I walk out and I bite my lip. And no, it is. It's in some ways that, I want to make sure that the focus isn't on me or the new or the offense. Or it's about this team. It's about our ability to grow. And sometimes you got to get through that first game to make sure everybody kind of gets themselves centered back into the things that they're supposed to do and need to do, and get our minds all focused on what's going to give us a chance to continue to grow and to be successful and play our best ball at the end of the year.
Well, Colton, Jeff, and Jim.
Luke, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think we saw Darian Barber get in the game. Is he still coming back from injury, or is that
No. I couldn't exactly tell you. I didn't get the playlist yet, but he is ready to go. He is one of the 7 or so guys that we want to make sure that has an opportunity is rolling in there. He has missed a lot, but everybody that deserves to play will play, and we know we need to have at least 8 guys to be able to play up front. So maybe this first one was a situation, maybe he didn't get some opportunities based on where the game was.
Luke, you guys talked in camp about Tucker Ashcroft being a little more advanced for the standard freshman. I know it's just one game, but what do you think he learned about himself and showed you guys today?
That he can come down with the ball and still turn and run some, because he came to the sideline and said, I thought I was going to get blasted, so I just kind of curled up as he caught that big ball down the sideline. Tucker's going to be a really good football player. And by week 4, he's not going to be a freshman anymore, and that's what we need. And we saw it early on. We obviously had some situations at that position in particular where he kind of had to be thrust into, some more opportunities and grow up a little bit faster maybe than everybody would have expected. But he's done it, and he's everything we've asked him to do. He's continued to do. He played a lot today. He made some plays today as well. He had some more targets because the offense, because those guys are confident in him, and he's not gonna be a young freshman after about 3 or 4 games.
Luke, there's a lot made last year when you took over about Braylon and is he going to stick around, and you guys sold him on a vision. Did you do anything similar with Ches? Did you and Phil sit down with him and kind of say, here's what we see for you?
It's crazy because he kind of came to me and kind of reiterated that this is where he wanted to be. I knew his high school coach. His high school coach reached out to me and said this is where he wants to be. He told me more about him, about how unselfish and humble and tough of a kid he is. And I feel bad that I probably didn't spend as much time with him, but it was pretty simple when he came to me and said, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to do, and I want to help you do it. And, I've always remembered that. I respect that. He showed me a lot, today in some different things. And I don't just mean that by running the football. I mean about his ability to be an example in that locker room, what healthy competition looks like, and not ever complaining about anything. I held him out of camp for about maybe 2 or 3 extra days just for the sheer fact that I know how tough he is, and sometimes you got to protect certain guys from themselves. And, I don't think he was liking me at the time, but I hope he knows it's all out of respect.